Can you do Darth Vader? Okay, we're live now. We're not doing anything. I just this is Frank Kelly.
Yeah, let's take a look. Okay. Trash can.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everything's great. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
What are you doing?
Is it still popping at all? No, you're good, man. Good.
So what's sort of, what's sort of the flavor of your podcast so far? You're talking to then.
Yeah, it's the first word I would say, obviously, general vibe fun. Go into it, list of topics, I'll post it on the address.
And then we never ended
And then exactly. A lot of laughs, a lot of humor, you go all sorts of different directions. But you always said, I would say you get at least one or two things related to what you came for.
Cool.
So we're still getting it, but it's just a lot of fun.
Great, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, it's more of a comedy podcast.
that's great.
Which places the
Right, no, that's perfect. That's really wonderful. That's so great. And did you guys know each other for a while, or how did you guys come together to start doing this?
It's so
Well, Frank recruited all of us. Do you know? Tell them that.
yeah, so I met Donnie, Bruce, Frank, all of us were basically.
Which side, Matt?
We all, I met Frank who introduced us there.
The other one?
Met Frank through that.
The backside.
Like,
No, the other
I
side.
was shocked.
The other side.
Frank Calito. So I've been saying Frank.
There you
go.
Yeah, Frank Kelly. I know.
I've been
This
saying. Yes.
is Caliender's thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my fault.
He's
Yeah,
actually
you totally know Caliender. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
amazing.
And I used to work at the comedy club, so that's how I know.
Nice.
I'm a good story.
Yeah, you just missed it.
That's
Yeah, just stand there.
You right?
Yeah, I walk right past you. Definitely.
I'm a huge fan of Caliendo. I met him heard of him through WKPD, through and all that kind of stuff. So then, and then I know he's done lots of different things.
You got to get a nice shot of charismatic Corbin sitting there right
So
now.
busy. Like how do you
Ooh,
how does he
boy.
stay in one
Oh,
place?
It's not even just California. I met him on Tuesday.
You guys ready?
I
Yep.
ran the clubs before,
Nice.
and then I ran the clubs out here too.
It is Saturday afternoon in Phoenix, Arizona, and listen to the Absolute Moon Podcast live from Free Comic Books Day. I'm Matt.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Brian. It's weird that you're well, before I talk to you guys are looking right now at the podcasting room here at the Drawn to Comics in Glendale, Arizona. We're doing Free Comic Day. The intro is weird because to my direct left is Brian, and at the end of the table is Kyle. So it was a little weird. I'm like waiting for Brian to be like,
So was
I'm Brian.
Like, you know what? I'll give him a second seat for a little bit.
throw down the rotation. There's charismatic Corbin sitting right there on his phone. Say what's up, Corbin.
Hey, Mike's right there. Come over and say hi.
Yeah, come say hi, Corbin.
Hello?
Yeah, we're live streaming.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow.
Having
If you
fun,
guys
Corbin?
are in the Phoenix area, definitely come out to Drawn to Comics, 58th Avenue in Glendale and downtown historic.
All right, go back to your other podcast, Trader.
Yeah. Downtown historic
Kyle, we might have to
Glendale.
work on that mic because you can't really hear out of it. I think that might be the one that you have to go from the top. Will you tap on the top of that mic for me?
Damn, now I have to get up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kyle, you got to do it all, man. You got to do it all today. Sorry. Let's not get a shot at Corbin's backside. And just go down. Tap on the top.
Whoever is down on the other side of the mic.
Yeah, I'm not picking it up.
You can't hear me.
Hold-
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Oh,
I had to
look
go.
at that. I've got the podcast.
You got the touch.
There you go. Hey, look, that's the table. Oh, that's the table.
That's our broken camera.
There's Kyle. Fix my broken camera. What a mess this is.
This is how we do it when we do it live, not in our houses and comfortable.
You get nothing but the best from us when we're live. Going live. It's weird not seeing. It's weird
other.
sitting next to you guys.
Yes.
I know it's been a long time since we've
And
actually got to.
You
do
can
this.
sit down. It's okay.
Nope, I'm already.
I appreciate your hard work.
I'm in the zone now.
Yeah. I appreciate you being in the zone.
I'm in the podcast zone.
Do you feel more special standing up there like that?
I do. I feel like the center of attention now.
That's good. We gotta
Trying
make
to
sure.
compete with Frank right now.
We want to
What we
make
can
sure
do,
that
we
the
can-
world is it's all Kyle. I gotta
Yeah.
quit watching that screen. Yeah,
Which stream?
The live stream.
Oh,
Screen. Yeah. But yeah.
We got Kyle in this sporting the awesome Absolute Geek Podcast comic code shirt.
I know. I couldn't wear my brand new Slayer shirt.
You could always, well, I mean, you could have put a sticker over it, I guess.
Right there over Slayer.
Yeah, right over Slayer. What should have been? We should have just made one that's a comic book Slayer. There you go.
We're the comic book Slayers.
There you
Yeah,
go.
it's really cool. And they've been.
So,
Wow, how is everybody?
How's your free comic book day going, Kyle? Did you get any free books yet?
I did. I got Avengers, Spider-Man, and Spawn.
I think I got those same books.
Hey, I really want to go try to find an Interceptor.
Go for
Because
it.
that's the book that got me the Donny Cates.
Nobody needs to hear you.
Yeah.
Because I picked it up because of our comic book reviews.
Oh yes.
Which I missed. I missed those just because you guys kept me updated on all the stuff.
We were actually talking about doing it again.
Yeah.
Because now that I'm done with school and I have more time,
Yes.
I can actually. Good. Lance can come and podcast with us.
There you go.
Here, you can take this one.
What am I doing?
We're podcasting right now.
Oh, are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Just comes strolling
Live
in
and-
his
Now that I
purple
put
couch
you on the
cruncher shirt.
spot, dude, I want a couch cruncher shirt.
Yeah?
You don't have to. You don't have to
Seriously.
in the spot like if you don't want to.
No, I'm good, dude. I'm good.
That fan spotlight.
Did you just get here? Did you go check out the books
I
yet?
just got here, dude. It took me an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh my God, that's what sucks about living on the east side of Arizona.
Yeah. So my house is cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's quieter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love the east side because of that.
You have those for sale on your
They're on
website?
T-Ship. Yeah. T-Ship.com.
Is there a discount code for the friends of Absolute?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get that for you. But
Discount code is #PayMe.
Right.
Pay me full price.
Dude, I didn't
Hashtag
realize
pay me
it's
full
a
price.
big thing. It's like a little mini.
You've never been a free comic book day before?
Not here.
Oh, Ken?
Yeah, he
Ken's
goes
always-
all out.
He's always gone all out. This is the awesome thing about, this year, every year for Free Comic Day, we're drawing to comics. Is Ken really knows, he really loves community, being able to connect with the community.
Yeah.
And this is one of the best ways to connect with the community is giving out free stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
It's
so he
awesome.
loves it because he loves seeing everybody lighten up,
Yeah.
and get all excited because they're getting, the free comics. So,
Right.
yeah, so he's always gone a way out.
Yeah, the comic book stores on the east side are just kind of smaller scale, I mean, there's Gotham and stuff over there. They're kind of bigger, but
Samurai on the other side. I mean,
Samurai's good.
that's where all the artists are doing their sketches and stuff.
Oh, really?
Shout out Samurai Mesa.
What artists do they have there? Do we know?
It's,
I don't know. They had quite a few. I know.
Andy Carrion?
I know Armin that was supposed to be on the show last night. He's over there today. He backed out on this. He backed out.
had a really great idea.
I can pull it up if they have it on their website.
Lance, we are at Free Comic Book Day across the street from the comic book store.
You got to find your way over.
walking around like, holy crap, dude, this thing's huge.
I think doing it. I think he did it a couple years ago here. He came here and he grabbed some comics.
Yeah.
I mean, what better place to help get involved with a Free Comic Book Day than doing it at a library?
Right.
Absolutely.
Tempe does one too at their library that supposedly has pretty good.
I mean, the more that you can encourage reading,
Yeah,
that's the whole point.
You share it on Facebook.
absolutely.
There's
nothing to better encourage reading than free stuff.
That free stuff is like the fourth best F word next to fractions.
What's the first best F word?
Friday.
Friday. Yes. That's
I'm
good.
trying to keep it PG-13, so my actual favorite F word is not going to be said.
Yeah. That's good.
We are.
You guys are actually like censoring yourselves right
We were told we have to, per the request of the library.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They must listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone
You're
does.
like, I don't know about those guys.
They saw our shirts and they were like, Come here. They gave us the finger. They pulled us into the office. And
Did they tug your ear a little bit too?
Yeah. They smacked our hands with a ruler.
Like, we know these guys. We know all about you.
You guys need to tone it down.
Yep.
That's why I don't have a cup of whiskey with me.
Yeah.
I know. I think this is the first one I've been on with you guys where you were not drinking.
This is the second podcast in a row.
What he doesn't want you to know is that that's not ice in that cup.
So Jose's sleeping?
He's in Minnesota right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's on vacation. He's actually hanging out with one of our listeners.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
He's visiting some other friends, and they happen to live pretty close.
That's awesome.
He actually gets to.
I'm just enamored by Brian having trouble posting to social media over here.
It's bad,
It's like,
man.
yeah, because you're not on the Wi-Fi, the service here is terrible.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
We have the
Service is
Wi-Fi.
bad here?
It's terrible.
You got to get on
I
that
think it's this
Wi-Fi.
old school brick building, and
Oh, yeah.
it's deterring all of the cellular
Deliberate. They
signal.
want you out of your phone in a minute, but
Exactly. It's by design.
yeah.
I really like the Couch Culture shirt.
Thanks, man.
Everybody out there,
Dude, I love your guys' shirts. I was going to talk to you, so I bought a cricket machine. I'm sure you saw my stuff on.
yep,
I've been going a little nuts. We can make those
A little
stickers.
nuts.
Yeah, dude.
totally.
Did you see my Stan Lee tribute wall?
I did. Very nice.
What'd you do?
So I I have a wall with a bunch of Comic-Con artwork that I got from Marvel artwork.
Yeah.
And I put the Marvel logo in the middle with a picture of Stan Lee and the house of Stanville.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, show us pics.
Are we live on YouTube?
We are.
are.
Sweet.
We've been live for like 10, 15 minutes now.
Just let that shit go.
Just let that sink in, bro.
Oh, and it's directed.
Post.
Hey, Corbin, your butt looks so sexy live on YouTube right now.
Whoops.
No,
Oh, that's great.
the camera.
dude.
I wasn't
That's
saying it as
awesome.
a hint. I was saying
Did you
it
do all
as-
those through
Yeah, I
the
made 'em.
cricket?
The camera
Yeah,
is
my
on
mom's
Lance
got
right
one of
now.
those. I
Corbin's
need to
is
go-
fine.
are
Don't
they
worry about
awesome? Yeah.
Don't worry about getting out of Corbin. You're
Do you have
good.
to get special paper to make the stickers?
It's fine. It's vinyl.
Oh, wow.
It's just vinyl stickers. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, you're an Alkaline Trio fan,
Oh,
dude.
yeah, absolutely. And then the other one I have is
I got to show you some of my Alkaline Trio stuff. Yeah.
You really don't.
I'm a huge Alkaline Trio fan. I got to meet them the last time I saw them. Oh God, this is probably 10 years ago now. And they obviously they were here, and they did some special lithographs.
Really?
Yeah, for the meet and greet. And I got like 5 or 6 of the lithographs. I'll give you one.
Oh,
They're badass. Yeah, and they're signed by them and everything.
Yeah, they're my hands down them based on my favorite
Yeah.
bands. And my buddies and I drove up to Vegas a few years ago to see them at the Fremont Country Club.
Yeah.
Trio and Leaside got the meeting and everything.
What do you think about Skiba playing in Blink?
I love it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I don't like it.
I think Tom
Is a
wanted to
douchebag?
leave, and
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
if that's the way that Blink has to continue,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
But so I got to tell you, I love Alkaline Trio, but I love his solo stuff just as much.
Skiba's?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love
Like
it, dude.
From Hell and
Heavens,
stuff.
yeah. Isn't it Heavens? Is that what it's
There's
called?
Heavens, From Hell.
Yeah, Heavens is
Matt
my
Skiba
favorite
and the
one.
Secrets.
Yeah, Heavens is my favorite by far.
Oh yeah. Heavens is really
That album is so amazing, so underrated, dude. I gotta talk to you about some music stuff and share some stuff, man, because I'm big into.
the last 2 times. So this time, the time before, you and I start going off in the music brand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it, dude.
I'm a
That's what
musician,
happens
so
when I
I
have to
toured
keep
all
our
over
show
the-
PG.
The country with my old band.
Yeah.
And now
What was your name of your old band?
The Distress Signal.
Oh, that's a cool name. That's a very cool name.
It
Very
was
cool.
when Lost was big.
Yeah.
Ripped it right out of Lost.
I
Yeah.
still think the best band name ever, especially if you were like a local band, and you had like a flyer to put up, or like maybe it was like a small marquee, but Bare Naked Ladies tonight inside. And just can you imagine being like a small local band, and you're walking down the street like partying, and it says Bare Naked Ladies tonight
Oh yeah,
inside.
dude, that's a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half price hot links too.
Yeah. I really like the name.
Like I said,
Yeah.
I really like the name My Chemical Romance. I think that is one of the, and if you look at Gerard Way's backstory about his addiction and stuff, that is such a fucking
Oh,
cool
yeah.
name.
Oh yeah. He's so like.
Excuse me, sir. We're trying to keep it PG.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to keep letting me know because I can cuss like a sailor.
You gotta watch that fun F word.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you don't have a job. You forget how to not swear.
Yeah.
So we had Matt and Kyle on our show back in October, right? I was like, guys, just like I'm not worried about you cursing, just like tone it down just a little bit.
Yeah.
And they almost didn't come on.
It's hard.
We were like,
hard.
so used to a direction and the naturalness of.
Well, we didn't know each other then either. And I'm like, whatever, guys, just let it go.
Yeah. Let it
I
fly.
think we were too bad.
Do you
I was
record?
super drunk though.
I tried to mind my P's and Q's, but I can't make any
I'm
promises.
like, I don't want to have to start changing our episodes to explicit.
Yeah. Oh man, that might be cool, man.
You were actually pretty tame on that episode.
Oh yeah, that's a fun episode though.
Yeah.
Then things get real out of the way. How you doing?
Good. Hey, would you like to come podcast with us?
Good.
We're live on YouTube right now.
What's your name, man?
Right.
Very cool. Nice to meet you, Fred.
What made you come to Free Concept Day?
Signed up as an artist.
Oh, you're fine.
You're fine, man. That's
He's an artist. Get out of the way, Lance.
Thanks, Lance. We'll talk, brother.
Thanks, Lance. That's your table right there, by the way, Lance.
So you're a comic artist, or just what do you do? Yeah.
When you draw, what's your hot thing you're drawing right now?
Girls.
Ah, there we go. Are you a pinup artist type style?
I try to.
Yeah.
I try to. I mean, most like every other artist, torture artist, it's never good enough.
Of course not.
But yeah.
Where can people find your work?
Right around the corner.
All right. Do you have a webpage?
I do. Hamlet and Monster Sideshow.
There we go.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Checking out your guys' stuff.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Right. What is that guys' setup? I'm just trying to figure out which.
Take one of each.
Oh, I want to take one of each, but I don't want to because I have business cards.
No, absolutely. Take one. We got plenty. We got stickers and then our flyer. Absolutely. That's what
Tell
they're there for.
everybody again. We were live on YouTube. Tell everybody again.
Oh, there is a camera. Yeah.
Right here.
You gotta warn people that there's a camera.
Yeah.
I'm all like thinking like I got a face for radio.
We do too, and we got used to being on YouTube.
Well, very cool, man. Though people will check out your page now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. How's it going?
How are you?
How you doing? What's your name, man?
Dennis.
Dennis, do you want to join us on a live stream? You're on cam and you're about ready to speak into a mic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
Good, real good.
How you liking the free comic book day?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Come every year.
Very cool. Yeah, it's drawn your local shop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been for years.
Yeah. What's your what are you reading right now? What's your favorite book?
I'm actually, I collect every week, but I'm actually collecting a lot of old stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I went back and collected all the Infinity War. Reading, I like the new Spider-Man stuff. I like the new, some of the new Avengers.
You read any of the new X-Men stuff? Uncanny?
Not yet. I actually have to wait because I'm a couple months behind because of the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
So
Which playoffs? NBA?
yeah.
You got to go now, dude. I thought you were about talking hockey, man.
I'm glad we got that coach. I hope that I just wish we could get rid of the owner.
Don't we all? Yeah, I'm super excited that he came here. Because the 76ers have a real good system, and I'm really hoping that he adapts some of that to us.
I think he can make it better for younger players.
Yes.
Because we got so many of them.
How good is our chances of picking up Zion? I mean, do we have?
The Knicks will get Zion because the NBA will make sure that the Knicks get him.
That's fine. That other
Hopefully
player's
we get
just
the
as good.
second, which
Yeah.
we want Jay Morant anyway.
Yeah, we want a point guard, right?
I mean, I would love to get Zion. If we could get Morant, that would be really helpful.
Yeah. Do you think we messed up by taking the hometown boy last year? Should we have taken Luka?
Yes,
Hindsight's
no.
2020.
I think that over time, if you get the right coach to develop him and they actually pass the ball to him, I think you can't give up on a big guy.
I agree.
Especially with that much talent.
Especially a hometown boy.
And he's 18, 19 years old. If you watch, we actually go to all the games.
Yeah.
And if you want, he's a kid.
Yes.
He acts like a kid. I mean, he's a kid.
Yeah.
I have kids in his age.
Yeah. Where'd you get your work done?
Hollis Cantrell, that iconic tattoo.
Okay. Awesome.
He's 40th Avenue and 45th Avenue in Peoria.
Okay.
Target, so
Very cool.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Batman, Joker, kind of all up and down.
Very cool, man. Very cool.
That one done. Daredevil.
Yeah, nice,
I'm
man.
in the process of getting a Walking Dead tattoo.
He's amazing at comic book work. That's what he does. That's his main thing.
What's his name?
Hollis Cantrell.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, my son's getting one right now. We're gonna go over there and check it out.
Oh, very cool. Well, thanks for stopping by,
Thanks,
man.
guys.
Grab a sticker and a flyer.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right,
Check
man.
us out. We're live every Friday night at 7:30 on YouTube.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Come in and hang out and talk nerd with us.
You guys are here?
No,
we do it live.
So you
We're at
can
our
chat
houses,
with
but we're
us.
live on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, I will check it out.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Another satisfied customer.
Well, it's going to be tough trying to censor myself. I can tell you that right now.
You're doing fine.
Yeah, you're doing great.
You're doing
I feel like I'm
bang up
I
job.
feel like I'm speaking a different
Hey, look.
language.
Hey, look, Lance is back again.
Caliendo?
No, it's not.
Or is that just a guy in person?
It's an impersonator.
He's on Comic Clicker.
You guys scare off the artist or what?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a little intimidating.
Are all the artists here?
He said he thought Barney was over here, so he had to come check it out. And then your purple shirt, yeah.
I'm not the purple man.
You're
No.
a fan of The Cure, right? We talked about The Cure, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about the new album? You hear anything about it yet?
I can't wait. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah. Robert Smith
I was actually looking for this guy.
Robert Smith came out and said it was really dark. Mr. Ken Brown, We're live streaming, sir.
Outstanding. You guys doing good?
you're doing good. Introduce yourself. We're gonna kick Lance out
I
again.
think people know Ken, but yeah, let's get you into the,
Yeah.
the spotlight.
We're gonna kick Lance out again.
Let the man put his waters down.
Kicking Lance off the show.
Dude, I've been on the show how many
Can
times
I
now?
get a quick water run? I'll be
Yeah,
back.
of course you can.
Go do your
All
water
right,
run.
brother.
You guys gonna make the man stand there and talk to us while he's got water in his hand.
But I thought it was awesome. Trent Reznor's induction.
Oh yeah,
Induction into
man.
the Rock and Roll Hall of
Oh
Fame.
yeah.
Like just saying, hey, it's Christian,
Listen, nerds.
come over here. Hey, we're live. Come say hi to everybody.
How's it going, brother?
How you doing? What's up,
Doing
man?
good. Say hello to everybody. You're on live on YouTube. Yeah.
You're on the podcast with us. It's been a long time.
No, a few years, right?
Yeah.
Where you been, man? You disappeared. Didn't you go move out of state for a while?
Yeah, I was in Chicago for a bit, and then I was kind of living out of my car, traveling for
Oh
a
yeah.
while.
How was
You're stuck
Chicago?
with yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Chicago was fun.
Yeah.
You got shot, I see.
I did not.
That is a
No,
plus.
Still in one piece.
Yeah, very cool, man.
Yeah.
That's one place I gotta get. I've never been out that way.
Oh, it's fun.
Did you ever check any of the conventions out there over there? Like, did you ever get to go to C2E2 or anything?
Yeah,
No, I actually never got
C2E2.
to go to any of those. Yeah.
It's a good one, though.
There was one that I went to like back in 2012, 2013. I can't remember.
You went to some with Jason and Eric, didn't you?
No, Jason actually met me in Amsterdam on his way
Nice. So nice.
back from a convention out there. I think it was LucaCon. So yeah, he kind of just like took a train up, met me, and then took a flight back to Italy.
Yeah,
It was- yeah.
So did you just go to Amsterdam, or did you do anything else? Did you check anything else out?
I was in Amsterdam for a few days, and I went over to London for another couple days. And then I was only out there for like a week. That trip, yeah.
I always look at prices because I want to go, and sometimes you'll find really good deals on fare. But I want to make sure that when I go to Europe, I have plenty enough time to do what I want to do.
Enjoy the
Yeah, it's so hard to go for just a week or 2 weeks or even 3 weeks. Like I want to do it. I would love to live in London or anywhere in England actually.
Yeah.
For like 2 years, just to experience
to
it.
really absorb
Yes,
it and really.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Because
cool
it's
because
so
once you're out there, you can get so many cheap flights to all the other countries
Yes.
out there.
Everything's so
really
close.
just
And
like
it's like it's real connected.
get
Yes.
the one flight there, and then I think when I flew to Amsterdam for like $300, and then my flight to and from London was another like 60 or 70.
And once you're there, everything's like a train ride away too.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
So that's
Super
so
easy to
cool.
travel around out there. It's awesome. Yeah,
I'm glad
Very
you're back,
cool.
man.
yeah, thanks.
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, great seeing you guys.
Yep. You're busy though, right?
Yeah, trying to stay busy. Yeah, I've been running a lot.
So what are you doing here? Are you helping?
Yeah, I'm just helping out Ken.
Part of the security.
Sure. Yeah, I came out to see Ken and Jordan and Amanda, and Ken kind of roped me into
He's
helping
good at
out.
that.
Yeah, I was about to say he's very good at that.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
got a way with words.
Right.
So what is your job here? Then? Just to keep things flowing.
Yeah. Keeping the free comics over there moving.
If there's any more interceptors, I like
Why
one.
don't you just walk out there and get one?
I'm podcasting right now. That's cool.
Pretty sure we ran out a while ago.
I'm sure real quick.
Yeah, that was
a
pretty
line.
quick. Yeah.
You know, that's something that surprises me that they don't give more books to certain stores that do something bigger because they run out of books so fast. And there's only so many books for certain genres or for certain people. So it'd be nice just to get enough books to go around. It seems like over the last 5 or 6 years, Free Comic Book Day has kind of done that where there's not enough to go around to the people that want them. I'm sure there's stores that get some that don't have anybody show up, and I get that. But if they're putting on a big, huge event,
I'm sorry, I'm a huge fan of Matt's dad. So anytime that there's a chance to read anything that has to do with him,
That's weird that someone says they're a fan of my dad.
I have to know about it. It's like my new thing right now.
That's awesome.
Well, we just thought we'd have you come on for a minute and say, hey, 'cause, you were a name that everybody heard for a while and then it wasn't. So I figured it's cool to get you back on and say, hey,
Disappeared for a bit.
sometimes you got to find it.
we all have to do that, man, at some point. Whether it's actual physically disappear or mentally disappear.
Yeah, the traveling helps.
I bet.
Yeah.
Put things in perspective.
A little bit. Yeah, especially once you start like camping everywhere and living out of your car for a bit.
Yeah.
Things change.
Yeah.
Things get different. It works. It's fun. You think
You see things differently though.
Yeah,
I think
you
that-
start appreciating a lot more.
Toilet paper.
I think that's a
Always
tough,
keep toilet paper in my glove box, no matter what.
that's a tough
That
road
was
to
like the very
run.
first thing that I learned.
Where in order to find yourself, you have to live out of your car. So I'd rather just find myself through some psilocybin mushrooms with DMT. So it's quicker. It's quicker. It doesn't take enough time. So.
Cool. So it's great seeing you guys.
All right, brother. Good seeing you, man.
Take it easy.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. That wasn't awkward at all.
Yeah.
It was all right.
It was all good.
So,
Lance, you look lonely over there. On my right. Yep.
well, getting some more foot traffic in here.
Yeah.
People checking things out.
Yeah.
We have free stickers to everybody that's standing around.
Couch Crunchers is popping over here. He's got a line out the door. We won't turn the camera on for physical proof.
Comic playground guys next to us.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Yeah, we're not as cool as charismatic Corbin over there peddling his wares
I
for
actually-
comic book playground.
I actually really screwed up on that. I should have brought some stuff. I feel bad.
Charismatic Corbin is my favorite person to have on the show.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll see you Monday, Sunday. Then we'll talk about.
So should we spoil Endgame again while we're here? Hey, everybody.
Let's not. We did that enough last night.
If you're watching or listening right now and you haven't seen Endgame, this is a good time to meet it because I'm going to tell a kind of funny story.
Did you go see it?
I haven't seen it yet.
He had it spoiled for him by like a 10-year-old girl.
There was a couple kids here, and we were giving them stickers, and we were talking. I was asking them what their favorite comic book character was. And they said they had seen Endgame. And I was like, oh, great. I was like, did you cry? Did you get teary-eyed? What was your favorite part? You know, just conversation like that. He's like, Iron Man dies in it. I was like, oh. I just had the whole movie spoiled for me. Even though I knew that, I'd seen that.
Of course, yeah.
But I just thought it was funny that she just.
How old was she?
She was probably. I don't.
She had to be like 10. Yeah.
Not even batting an eye at it. Not even hesitating.
We have to get the magician on before this is all said and done. We got to get him to do some of his awesome tricks for us.
I would love to talk to him about the wrestling.
That's what I
Yeah.
want to talk to him about.
And the wrestling and
Listen, he's important to his own podcast here. We gotta let him do his thing. He's gotta peddle his wares.
Because the way he was on the news,
Yeah,
he was so charismatic. So we
he was.
Are you guys podcasting right now?
We
We
are.
are. Of course,
Absolutely.
man. We're live streaming right here.
on YouTube.
Oh, all right. Hey, never been on camera before. You guys, what's going on? You guys enjoyed Free Comic Book Day?
We're
are.
here, man. We're
Every
loving
year.
it.
What time did you guys get here early? I do like that I go in your podcast and interview you.
Of course.
Yeah, I love being interviewed.
All right, I can tell. So what's going on? Have you guys walked around? Did you get involved in any of the magic?
I've
No,
been
we
around
were-
magic.
Magic. I was out there for a while.
We were just talking about that.
He did a little magic show for us to warm up before he went out there. He was getting like the adult humor out.
I feel like I'm in such a weird stance right now.
I know, right? That's the whole point. Make people feel
The power
weird.
stance.
Yeah.
You're commanding the energy.
Towering over.
Thanks for lying to me. Everything's going well.
So, what about you? How you liking doing the podcasting so far?
Good. Just learning how to talk as myself more, and then all anybody wants to hear is impressions. So
I know,
that's
right?
the best of it. It's like I tell people, it's like opening for a band, like being a comedian who opens for a band, and I'm also the band.
Yes.
Because all they want to hear is the impressions, and then if you've ever done comedy before or seen a comedian before, a musical act, you're like, I want to sing along and do what I'm here to see, not watch an idiot talk about his life.
Well, the interesting thing is just that you're into comics. Tell us, how'd you get into comics, and where does your
I
love
was
for
into a
it
little bit
go?
of comics when I was a kid. My grandpa used to buy them for us over at Mr. Kurt's 5 and Dime store.
On the old spinner rack?
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly what it was. Yeah, from the 1800s. And this was in Chicago, in Elmwood Park, Illinois. And I remember I had Iron Man. I didn't have a huge collection or anything like that. But we had some Iron Man, some Hulk, and some Spider-Man. Mostly Marvel stuff, and I couldn't even tell you why. But I grew up watching the Super Friends.
Yes.
Oh, so you guys are positive on that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a huge fan of the Wonder Twins, man.
Oh, yeah.
I love them, man.
Yeah, Wonder Twin powers activate.
Yeah.
Shape of a donkey, form of donkey. Which originally was Ted Knight, the guy from Caddyshack. Meanwhile, back in the home of justice, Wendy and Marvin. Are you Wendy and Marvin?
No.
Good. No, I was Wonder Twins.
I remember, I think that was the first place where I saw the Legion of,
The Legion of Doom.
yeah.
The Legion of Doom. The announcer would just tell you what was going to happen. The scripts were so bad. It'd be like, meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom,
Yeah.
Lex Luthor plans to take over the world. I have a plan to take over the world. That was everything. He just say it. They just said it. So.
Did you ever check out any of the Super Friends comics or just the show?
It was just the show back then. I didn't realize there was a Super
They
Friends.
did. I'm a big fan of finding like those really weird key first appearances. And that Super Friends, the first appearance of the Wonder Twins, is a tough book to find. But
Was Gleek in the comics too?
he was.
Little-
Yeah. You know what? That's a good. I should look up where his first appearance.
Yeah.
came from. Why not?
Yeah, because the Wonder Twins, if Zan and Janet couldn't connect,
Yeah.
the news would have to go in between. And he would create what would happen.
The actual creators of those characters was one of the first female creators in comics.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
You learn something new.
yeah.
Absolutely keep podcast.
Especially
Yeah,
this
man.
guy's an encyclopedia.
Yeah, I try.
exactly.
The comic book pictures.
You don't look like a comic book guy at all. I'm totally lying to you.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Are you from here?
I am. I'm from here. Born in Vegas, but been here most
And
of
you're
my
not
life.
from here. You live here.
Exactly.
I'm from here.
You're from here.
I'm born.
Yeah, but if you come here at like 4 or 5, you're basically from here.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean? There we go.
I
Coming
said I
through.
was born in Chicago, grew up in Milwaukee.
Where? No, wait, hold on. Milwaukee, is that close to Eau Claire?
Eau Claire is closer to Minneapolis.
Okay.
But it's in Wisconsin, so you're in the right state.
I spent a lot of time in Eau Claire.
Why?
My family's from there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mom's side of the family and everything. So I love it, man. I don't know. That's one of the weird things that blows me away about the Midwest. Growing up here, you go to the Midwest and everybody's smiling,
Oh, yeah.
saying hello, how you doing?
Yeah, but here it's like people from the Midwest who didn't want to be cold.
Yes.
Mix it with Southwestern culture.
Yes.
People who didn't want to pay taxes in California.
Yes.
And then you pretty much kept.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, well, I got to run. We're getting a new desk put in.
Well, have fun. Thank you for coming on, man.
Absolutely. This is my new favorite podcast that's next to our.
Yeah. Hell
And
yeah.
Corbin had fun on your show.
Oh man, we love Corbin.
Oh, he was on last night. It was so much
He's
fun.
so much energy.
Charismatic Corbin.
Oh,
That's why
yeah,
we call him
that's
that.
what we call him Killer Corbin. I don't want to tell you why.
That's why he's remodeling.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you much.
Thanks for
All right,
stopping
thank
by.
you, brother.
Goodbye, audience. Thanks, guys.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, Frank. Appreciate it, man.
You should be the host of the show, Brian, because you just command everyone.
It's easy. It's hard not to do that when you're in person. It's much easier to not say anything when you're not in person.
That's very interesting. Like that was completely unexpected and awesome that he came to the show. But just like you see that switch flip.
Yeah,
We've been watching him talk 5 feet in front of us for like an hour, and it's just like switch flips to
It's kind of
showtime.
how we are. We worship home and we come on to the
Yeah.
show and we're doing our, and then we know what to do. There's the camera's on, the microphone's on, and ready to go.
Lance is over there looking at us all jealously
You
and
just know what to do.
shooting. Lance over here shooting dirty looks
So-
at us, and it's like, oh.
So this is
You hooked that up, didn't you, Corbin? You hooked that up, huh?
this is the book that Kyle wanted, and he talked about. This is the book that introduced him to Donnie Cates. So,
So the reason I got into that book, I got into
There you
the case
go.
is because I was always
Interceptor.
trying to.
Pick that up. Free comic book day.
very cool looking
We
cover.
used to do a
There you
comic.
go.
I don't know. We have a lot of new listeners, but we used to do a comic book review every week, and we used to do just the Norm comics. And I was like, we actually got a review, and the review had actually said, "How come you guys don't do a lot of new and independent, and different stuff?" And I had said, "You know what? That's a damn good idea." So what I was doing is I was picking up all these new books from all these smaller, different publishers, and the original cover to Interceptor 1 was really cool looking.
Is that it?
No.
Because this back cover is freaking amazing.
So I got on and I was like, and then all of a sudden, like right after he came out with that, like Donnie Cates was everywhere.
You know what? I can't remember what Donnie Cates' first professional work is, but I'm gonna have to check it out to make sure it's not this, because I might have to pick up
It's
Interceptor.
a super cool book. So it was a lot of fun. It was because it wasn't a long run, and then he did a like a second series to it, and
Yeah, it looks like it's got new creative team right now.
I think the artists and stuff are different.
Yeah,
Actually, we got to really look at it.
it's still a beautiful looking book.
Looks like it's got a different.
It was the concept was kind of cool. It was like a vampire type. People had like taken over Earth,
Which one's the library?
and
I'm sorry, I'm in awe right now. How cool is that? That Frank Caliendo just totally stormed our podcast.
it wasn't a
Thanks
big deal.
to Corbin.
Corbin's he's got it
Corbin's paying some bills over there.
right. Hey Lance, why don't you come on the show?
Uh,
Just hanging out.
I don't-
Talk
I don't
comics
have
with
it.
us. Unless you don't want to.
You don't
No, I
automatically
guess.
reconnect. What is this?
Are you guys podcasting
Just
tonight?
click on auto reconnect.
The guys are. I'm not.
Oh,
I've had some family stuff happen, so
Oh
I've been
yeah, I
kind
read
of.
that.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, I've been kind of MIA.
I might have to come on and dive bomb into the chat again.
Yeah.
I had so much fun. Like it was so much fun. Like, I had never been on that side.
Yeah.
And so it was so much fun just commenting on what you guys were saying and inserting little quips.
Oh yeah. It was awesome, dude, because it's like being in real time like that, like you really get an instant reaction, and it kind of handles the conversation and stuff like that. Like it was awesome.
My part is
God, I'm
my
so
favorite part
inept
is-
at this shit.
It's seeing when people say something cool and you're like, oh wow, and it puts you in this whole other like
Yeah.
zone of talking about stuff. I think it's really
Well,
awesome.
when I go on your guys' show too, like I'm watching the chat stream too, because it just kind of like, oh, dude, I didn't even think about that, and then we kind of go off in a new direction. And it's awesome, dude. But the audience kind of dictates the show.
So the first time I watched it, you guys were like super late coming on. That time that I remember I was I had subscribed, and so that I was So that it notified me,
Yeah.
and I was like, all right, cool. And I was actually in the drive-through at In-N-Out. And I had it, and it just said waiting. You know how it does that,
Yeah.
like that waiting thing? And I was like, what the heck? It was like 20 minutes
So my
later,
brother's a
25 minutes
drummer,
later.
right?
Really?
I had to
You guys
get him
were,
new
like, super
sticks.
late that day.
Was that just
My
recently?
dog didn't like him
It was that
playing.
one episode where I dropped in and I was commenting. And hanging
Oh
out with you guys.
yeah.
You guys were like a half hour late or 20 minutes late or something.
Yeah. I don't. Well, we're still new to the live thing, so a lot of getting over the technical.
I love
be
trolling
artsy,
your
too.
podcast in the chat.
It's so much fun.
We had Travis from Comic Exposure on last week, and that dude is like so smart, like otherworldly smart.
Yeah.
Like we were talking Endgame and just the stuff he was saying. I was like, I didn't even think about that. Like Comic Exposure, that's a cool podcast.
Yeah,
Listen, we don't plug other podcasts on this show.
Wasn't Frank Caliendo on
You didn't hear him talk once about Common Playground. He talked about his life. Real hard hitting stuff. I think it's official to say that whenever we have an interview, Brian, you're handling it. You got this. You've got
Take the
the
reins.
yeah, dude. You've got the interviews down.
Except when I don't like the guest.
Yeah.
Then I just take a back seat.
Shout out Hot Rock Super Joint.
Oh my God.
God, just laid it out there. Put it out there,
Have you
man,
seen
for everybody
Brian's
to see.
Other podcast, the podcast? Have you watched any of those episodes?
No, not.
Oh, go watch
What is it
episode
called?
10.
The Bobcast, BOGCAST.
You find that, just go on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just me and my best friend that I grew up with, just trying to put a spotlight on anybody that's trying to create anything in Phoenix, downtown scene. So we tried to do a 420 episode with Hot Rock Super Joint, some guy I wasn't familiar with, and he came in, and that day, unfortunately, he had a photo shoot with New Times, and kind of went off the rails, and I'll tell you about that off camera.
I wish we could get a photo shoot with New Times. We just gotta, hey, you're one of the top podcasts you have here in Phoenix. Send us a picture.
Yeah.
We didn't even get the clout to have someone come out and take it.
What does the New Times have a podcast team?
No, but when they do a podcast you have to hear in Phoenix list every year, and we've been in there the last 3 years.
I know that I'm surprised they don't have a podcast.
We need to update that picture though.
You think they would? Yeah. You think they would come out and interview us once?
Yeah, right.
They should interview you guys.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I don't know when's the last time I read a New Times.
Never
Awesome.
mind.
Am I the last time-
I was all gone. I was going to go steal their stuff and then use it as argument.
They actually brought like
Yeah.
pops.
Yeah, they were smart.
So what they're doing is, if you subscribe to their podcast, you enter your name in and you win everything that's on that table.
Wow.
That's their deal right now. So if you just show them that you subscribe and enter it out, and they'll call you at the end if you won.
So yeah, you can do like 95% of everyone else and subscribe and then unsubscribe,
As you walk
and
away.
you walk as you're walking away. Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? Though we can't even get people to come.
No, they're commanding the room right now.
You guys need a cool red tablecloth.
That's what we said when we got
Well,
here.
like, look,
Putting it
dude,
out.
they got men, women, and babies over there, running stuff, and we just got 3 sweaty dudes. So we're doing it wrong.
And Brian.
3 sweaty dudes and Brian, yeah,
Oh, man.
commanding the room.
Is it just you?
It's just me. Yeah, because Max lives
You
in
guys want a
Colorado.
sticker? You listen to podcasts? You want a sticker and a flyer?
So Max lives in Colorado, and Tyler's here, but Tyler works on Saturdays. So, and then me with my family stuff that happened this week, like just unprepared all over the place. So, but yeah, those shirts are awesome, dude. I love those.
I was hoping they were going to come in. Thank you. Put this on. It was,
There you go. Rep it.
I think the podcast room being separated from everything that's going on, it's making it hard to draw people in here.
I walked in and I thought this was like a green room thing first until I saw you. I was like, oh, okay.
We're gonna have a red versus black dance off later between us and the Comic Playground. Kyle's gonna take it home.
Yes.
But it's awesome out there.
Star Wars the shit out of it.
Have you guys checked any of the artists out there?
We came in here, we set up, and we've been sitting here ever since.
There's some good ones. there's some that I don't usually see at the other cons, so I would kind of want to go check them out. I saw some Power Ranger artwork, which is not common. You know,
Cool.
yeah, it's cool.
What are you doing there, hippie?
Getting into my bag of tricks.
He sounds like Jose right now, unwrapping a candy.
So did you hear they want to reboot Power Rangers again?
The movie? Yeah.
So it's going to start over.
Oh,
I'm
that's
okay with that.
stupid.
So Hasbro bought them from
Yeah.
Saban or whatever.
And they're gonna
They're gonna
transformer
redo
the
it.
crap out of it.
You're right.
I'm okay with that though.
Yeah.
Finally showed my kids Bumblebee last night. They loved it.
Behind my back.
It's a good one. It's much better.
What are
than
you
last
trying to do,
one.
I
Bryce?
see it in
I
red
can't-
box, and I'm like,
I can't get to it. I
And
can't
just-
get it.
I'm just like,
Can't
and
get
I
this.
and then I scroll over to something else, and I pick glass instead, and I was so mad.
Making it
Glass
everything a
is
pain in the
alright.
ass.
Split's better.
It's a lot better. It just seems like
Oh yeah.
he had a very
It's not
good
long enough.
concept,
It's not.
and he's
I just
kind
want.
of like Dan Slott.
Hold on,
where
I
it's
can
a
fix
great
this.
concept.
You can make this
It
work.
starts out with a great execution, and then it falls flat.
He overthinks things. So Sixth Sense, he wasn't that well known of a director, right? And so he kind of had to live within these parameters. And in Split, he was trying to get like his name back, so he had to live within these parameters. And they're like, "Oh, this is awesome! Do whatever you want for the next one." And then if you tell him do whatever you want, then
He messes
kinda-
it up.
He messes
So
it
it
up.
was Glass bad?
It's not bad. It's just not as good as Split.
Yeah.
It was like the
You take
whole
from that.
aspect
You're
of
the
it.
best,
kind of
brother.
like the concept of it was super cool. Like
Yeah.
they were all kind of locked in there, and it was this
Thank you, bro.
battle of they were actually trying to like instead of them having superpowers, they were trying to convince them that it's all just in their minds.
Yeah.
It's nothing
Is it working?
more than that.
Yes.
It's not what they
Thank
think
you,
it
bro.
is, and they just have this wrong perception of everything about them.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't true. And then it kind of like, and it kind of like petered, like what are they actually going to do? What are they going to, how is this? I think he's just like, how do I, now that they're locked in this place, how do I really turn it into something?
Right.
And I think he had a real hard time trying to turn it into something.
Glass was just kind of predictable, a lot of it. And it turned into a different kind of movie. Like,
Yeah.
it was more of like, they spent a lot of the time in the mental institution and stuff like that. So it was just that it wasn't so much action superhero.
I was kind of open once we were getting the feeling that, oh, okay, I see what's going on. They're going to have them break out and, and they're going to show
Terrorize.
the world.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and the only thing that caught me off guard was like, and I was like, what the hell is he doing on the computer? And then I realized later on
Yeah.
that, they're trying to keep everything so self-contained. I was really hoping that they were actually going to get to that building.
Yeah, that's
Because,
what I wanted
and I was
to.
hoping that they were going to like, once that they were,
That's dope.
you figured out that
That's
they
dope.
were, once you figured out that they were going to get there, I was hoping that like it was going to take off and it was going to go like balls to the wall.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just, it was just, all it was something that's a story.
Right.
And it should have been the story. Like
Well,
they
then
should
it
have
kinda-
got there and it should have like been like other superhero stuff where like shit actually really gets destroyed instead of like a dented man.
Right. Or they get to the building and then all of a sudden you discover there's other superheroes out there. And
Like
they could have
people are
ended that
revealing
trilogy.
themselves.
Yeah. Could have ended that trilogy and then started a new story. But
Welcome to Kyle's Redbox reviews.
Right? A little late.
that'd be a good podcast.
A little late. That'd be way better than Matt and Matinee.
It would.
Kyle's Redbox review. So it's
What
something
happened to
from
Matt and
8 months
Matinee?
ago.
What happened to it? I got lazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
And I got roasted for giving a 9.5 score to Captain Marvel.
I thought you gave it 9.8 to it.
Or 9.8. Yeah, thank you,
Give it
Kyle.
a 9.8.
Right out of the movie theater. He was so pumped.
I
You
was.
didn't even give a chance to like digest it.
No, I had to see it twice. And after the second time, I was like, I made a grave mistake.
It was so funny. He came out 9.8, yeah. Which was cool. And I was like, wow, man, it must have been an awesome movie. Like, I mean, because Matt's so critical of things. He truly is
Yeah.
very critical of a lot of things. He really dissects it.
Yeah.
And he came out, and I was like, I really have to go see Captain Marvel now. Like, he got me super stoked. A 9.8 from Matt, that's like gold. I mean,
Right.
it's like, it doesn't do anything more. And then he came back, he's like 8'5". I was like, oh man.
I just don't like to see my superheroes without any like flaws, like or any like weaknesses. Like if they're just all powerful, that's not fun. Like
Oh, you
I
must
don't
be.
know, but we might see in like the sequel or something. Maybe she does have something. I don't
Because
know.
it wasn't a super hardcore villain, like even with Ronan, it was kind of like a guest appearance.
Yeah,
So it was like,
it was a filler movie.
yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
You guys want some stickers? Everybody likes stickers. You guys want to be on a podcast?
Brian, are you alive over there?
We're live right now.
Come on,
Talking to the microphone. Tell everybody hi.
right there. Look, the camera's pointing right at you. Talk to them.
Who's you guys' favorite superheroes?
Don't all speak at once.
See, look, you guys are live.
You like the Flash?
The Flash is that's my favorite too. In the camera right there, and then you'll see yourself wave in a minute. It'll catch up.
So you guys got books. What books did you guys get?
Where's the stickers for these?
Yeah.
Those are the stickers.
Take one.
Did you guys see Endgame yet?
No, we
Not
want
yet?
to.
Oh, you want to know what happens?
We'll save you some money.
Yeah.
Right.
Let
us know what happens.
Yeah.
I'm ready for
Well, thank you guys for coming on and being on the
Have fun.
podcast.
Have fun, guys.
A lot of cool stuff.
See, now you can see your dad.
There you go.
All right, where'd Ken go?
He's kenning about.
Yes, there he is. He's right there.
So Interceptor is not Donny Cates' first work. His first work is Dark Horse Presents number 24.
Say Donny Cates has been on a lot of things, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's the Venom writer. He's
Yeah,
the Ghost Rider, Cosmic Ghost Rider guy.
Right now, he's got the golden touch.
Yeah, he's the biggest creator in comics right now, I want to
I think he
say.
hypes his own shit.
Who's this?
Speculates.
Donny Cates. I would say he's the hottest writer, at least. All the stuff he's
I mean,
got.
he's got cool concepts of things. I think he knows how to put cool spins on things and
Yeah,
run it up. And
Out there ready to
Perfect
spoil
timing, Ken.
Endgame
Yes.
for everyone.
We're
now
talking.
you're live on YouTube with us
Ladies
right
and
now.
gentlemen, joining us now is Ken Brown, the owner of Drawn to Comics here in Glendale, Arizona, and putting on this fine free comic book day event. How you doing, Ken?
Thanks, you guys. Yeah, it's doing awesome, man. We love having you guys here, and yeah, dude, your guys' podcast is unbelievable, and all the love and support in the world. Let me know how we can be out there, spread the word about how awesome Absolute Greek Geek is. Sorry, not Greek.
Absolute Greek works too.
That's the other podcast that comes on after us.
So
Yes.
let's get out of the shtick range. Let's ask you about what we're talking about. What do you think of Donny Cates? You a fan of Donny Cates?
I'm a big fan of Donny Cates. Donny Cates is what I think of as the modern day Scott Snyder. And it's funny because Scott Snyder's only 10 years old.
I was about to say Scott Snyder's the modern day Scott
Yes,
Snyder.
exactly. But Scott Snyder's in prime time. Right?
Yes.
He just had a baby today.
Did he? Scott Snyder
Yeah,
had a baby?
he had a baby
What's
today
that, like
on
his
Free
14th?
Comic Book Day.
That's why we couldn't
Third,
get him on
yeah.
the show today.
On Free Comic Book Day.
On
don't
Free
forget.
Comic Day. On Free
Yeah.
Comic Book Day.
Two extra comics.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's 2 extra comics.
Yeah.
Because this is the book that got me into Donny Cates.
Is Interceptor?
Interceptor, yeah.
What's funny too is like Scott Snyder and Donny Cates, I feel like are having similar upbringings, except Donny Cates started more indie, where Scott got accepted by DC doing American Vampire right away.
Yes.
But American Vampire is the most indie, I would say.
I was just about to say that,
of DC
yeah.
stuff that they
Yes.
do.
And he also, but at the same time he was doing Batman, he was doing Witches.
Yes, which is.
He did a couple indie things, but
I read Severed. Have you guys ever read
No,
Severed?
no.
Oh my gosh, dude. Severed is one of the most beautiful books that's been written by Scott Snyder artistically. I apologize for not remembering the name of the artist right now, but it was a 5-issue miniseries of 1920s, 1930s horror
Scott Snyder worked a lot with Jock. I wonder if it was Jock. Did Jock?
It wasn't Jock,
no?
unfortunately. I wish I had it handy.
Yeah, you got a supercomputer in your pocket.
That's the point of it.
Isn't that awesome
Yeah.
about today's world? It's like that. We can find anything within about
Yeah,
15 seconds.
You can't lie anymore.
I know,
No.
dude.
And you know, I
they
remember-
just all sound like geniuses.
I had a
even though
buddy and his cousin. What they would like to do is they would not Google things so they could have these conversations, right, wrong, or indifferent what they were talking about, just to make a connection and conversation about something.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd be sitting there listening to a part of the conversation, and I'd have my phone or my laptop there, and I'd be like, I know what he said is complete and utter nonsense, and he's making up. So I would Google it, and I'd say, no, it's actually this, and they would both turn and make the same look like you just ruined everything. Like they didn't care. They didn't care that they were lying. They didn't care that they didn't know about it, but they were just having an in-depth conversation.
Yes.
And for a long time, I was like, but why? So like, if I totally believed you and I went and talked to somebody later, dude, I heard this crazy thing, and people would be like, no, you're an idiot. That's completely totally wrong. No. I had like a 3-hour conversation with 2 guys about it, you know. So I was like, I would always stop them and like, so I always fact check them.
Nice.
And eventually, I would fact check them and then keep it to myself.
So you know
It's like, here, you guys remember what we did last week? Let's see the real story.
Yes.
Let's tell you what really happened.
yeah. Sometimes it's more fun to think about the opposite, right?
Yeah.
That's like me too. Like, I have this reimagination of how the end of the Avengers Endgame should have ended when Doctor Strange started releasing people out of the portals.
Yes.
I still go to sleep at night and have these dreams of the Inhumans coming out.
Yeah.
How the Defenders came out.
Yeah.
All the let's see,
X-Men.
Deathlock and Ghost Rider and all the people that have been part of this whole Marvel Cinematic Storytell, like on TV. You know, the Daredevil, Cloak and Dagger, everything that says they reference
Too
to what
much
happened
money.
in New York.
Too many actors.
Yeah, that's the only thing that happened bad on that.
I think that's why some of
the
those.
Krees and the Skrulls.
Yes.
That's what Captain Marvel thought was all about.
You know, we talked about that last night. About what we thought the second phase was, and we totally forgot to talk about the Korean Scroll War. They got to be heading that way, right?
I thought that Captain Marvel was going to unify by time because the power she got was designed to bring the Skrulls to the sacred part of the galaxy. So there'd be no war between them. But imagine if she just went back and said, okay, let's just let all this stuff happen. And the Kree Scroll War was actually going on as that in-between story between Endgame and
I think
what's going on in Captain Marvel.
I really hope they do go the route of the Kree Scroll War. I know that they're doing the thing with the Eternals, and I want to see more cosmic. I'm you know, I talk about it all the time. I'm waiting for Silver Surfer.
Dude, it's gonna be epic now that the Fox, Disney, Sony now working with Marvel. Obviously, they still have their Spider-Man rights, but it's like kind of hanging out at your neighbor's house.
Yeah.
So you can go do your own thing when you have to go home and go have dinner with your family. But then you want to go hang out with your best friend, you can make some awesome stuff happen.
Yeah.
It would be a cool thing that Marvel could do for the next phase is, I don't know if you guys are big anime, but like I watched an anime called Bleach. So what they did was they told this epic story over season after season after season, and what they did was
You mean like most animes?
yes, but
Most TV shows do?
damn, that finally got me.
An epic.
But what happened was what they did was it was so popular by the time it was done, and it was
That they had to write new stuff.
So what they did was they went back, and since like most animes, it's gaps of time. What they did is they took and they inserted what happened in those gaps of time to other sets of people. So like when these characters would come, and it would be a few episodes or half a season or something, and then they would go, and it would be years before they returned. They were actually inserting what was happening in between.
Yeah, and the Marvel cinematic universe can totally do that with all the time jumping.
Yes, there's always so much going on that they could have things take place.
Exiles. They can do Exiles.
Well, I can't wait to see they touch on. I noticed recently that people have been requesting about the Captain America Hydra again.
Yes.
What was that? Secret Empire. I apologize, dude. My brain's been all over the place today.
Well, they're talking about doing Secret Invasion, right?
Yes. Well,
With the scroll.
these Easter eggs were all set up in Endgame. When Captain America fought Captain America, but in the elevator it said Hell Hydra.
Yeah.
Now these guys think that Cap's part of their team. And when all of a sudden they go Hell Hydra Cap, and the Cap that's left behind is going, what? And then he starts, trying to beat some ass, excuse my French.
Yeah.
And then they subdue him, and they do Winter Soldier all over again with Cap.
They need to do Winter Soldier.
Hydra Cap right there.
They have to do Winter Soldier. I was really bummed about that.
Yes. Well, aren't they doing a Falcon or Captain America and Winter Soldier TV show coming up on the Disney Plus, or is that Hulu?
Yeah, I think
Plus.
it's Disney Plus. Yeah, they got a couple of shows coming out.
Yes, and then they just announced Ghost Rider and Hellstrom. Is that separate shows each, or
That-
are they both in the same
I
show?
think
Same
Ghost
show.
Rider was Hulu. I think that's going to be
Okay.
Hulu.
And then Loki, I guess, is one of the Disney Plus shows.
Oh, that's a perfect Disney character. Perfect.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, perfect, man. They can do that whole run when he was a kid. Even the female Loki, they could do that too. They could do so much with that character.
Yes.
Which is interesting why they even have their own streaming service now that they own Hulu.
Yeah. Well,
And they're still developing stuff for Hulu. Like they're pulling everything off Netflix, but still developing stuff for Hulu.
I think they know they have that built-in audience. There's a lot of crossover between
Yeah,
Netflix
probably.
and Hulu users.
Yeah.
They put on Disney Plus. Let's at least capture that audience, and then slowly, hopefully, transition back over to Disney Plus, or like I guess more or less with the ABC family, and then ABC. Some of those shows start on ABC, but then end up on ABC Family. They go
Yes.
on syndication.
yes.
And just kind of reach out to as much audience as possible with
Yeah.
both the Hulu and Disney Plus network. I'm surprised. You see, Simpsons was one of the early announcements. They're putting every episode of Simpsons on Disney Plus. I'm
Yep.
excited about that too.
That's huge.
Yes, you can have those Simpsons binge watch.
Yeah.
6 weeks to watch every episode of Simpsons.
You don't have to wait for FX to do it. You can now just go on and just.
So, out of all the books that are available for Free Comic Book Day, what are your favorites? Have you checked them out yet?
Yeah, I could not wait. You guys know, I'm sure. I don't know if you heard me talk about the symbiote and Spider-Man, so I got me into comics.
Yep.
And this is the year of the symbiote. I was looking at it on paper. Oh, yeah, it's the 35th anniversary of the symbiote costume. And Marvel is doing, once again, I thought Venom was big last year. They're doing more stuff with symbiote. This year they're doing more Carnage stuff. But that's all Donny Cates starting that up. And seeing the Free Comic Day Spider-Man, I don't know, am I allowed to spoilers?
No, of course. Yeah, that's why we're here. This is the Free Comic Book Day Spider-Man book. For those of you that can see.
But I was reading through it, and it's very much like that when Carnage first got his own suit when he was in prison with Eddie Brock in the same prison cell. Well, now Lee Price, the Venom that was part of the pre-Eddie Brock getting his costume back, is in prison. Then Eddie Brock was captured in the last Venom story. Now he's in prison too. Well, it's kind of like a how would you say, it's a Sons of Anarchy type of moment where two alternate gangs. Lee Price has got his symbiote still inside of his bloodstream and tries to step up to Eddie Brock. The suit rejects Lee Price and jumps on to Eddie Brock.
Oh,
and becomes
that's
a brand new
cool.
Carnage.
That's
so Eddie
cool.
Brock is now Carnage in there, which is pretty awesome storytelling.
I'm with you on the love for the symbiote. I think it's one of the best things that Marvel ever did. I really wish that they would.
And Donny Cates is writing it.
Yeah.
I just realized that Donny Cates is writing the new Carnage.
Yeah, and the new Venom. I mean, I think what Donny Cates did, back to just go full circle, like Scott Snyder, Donny Cates put a breath of life into Marvel with the Cosmic Ghost Rider. I mean, right away.
Yes.
I mean,
so many of us are drifted away from because it wasn't what it was once, and it just wasn't going anywhere. It seemed like.
Here's the thing about Cosmic Ghost Rider that I think was so huge. It was the perfect storm. Good story, great variant. That Thanos variant, Albuquerque. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's about $1,000 variant.
Yes.
Right hand.
And that whole first 12 issues of that book, with Silver Surfer and all that stuff, amazing. So that was all a perfect storm, I think. So it's very rare for that to happen. I hope that they don't ruin that, though.
Well, how many people would say they trumped Jeff Lemire? Because Jeff Lemire started that Thanos series, the first
Yes, he
12
did.
issues,
Yes.
and then
And it was
Cates came
good.
on number 13. It was good, but then Cates made you forget about the Lemire run. Now
Yes.
people are saying, "Hey, I need Thanos number 6." Nobody ever comes into my shop and asks about those first 12 issues of Thanos. It's from 13 to I think it was number 20. Was that the last issue before they did the Cosmic Ghost Rider miniseries?
Yes, I believe
and now
so.
the Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's just he made something out of the Punisher even cooler.
Yes.
Like how many
Yeah.
people expected that to be Frank Castle? They all thought it was going to be Deadpool.
Well, it was Deadpool. I don't care what anybody says.
I
it
think
was
it
was. I think it
Deadpool,
was gonna be Deadpool
and
the whole
and
time.
people figured it out early. And And Donnie Cates went, I can't let that happen.
No,
Yes.
I'm
I
going to
think-
make sure it's still a surprise.
Yeah, it was 100% Deadpool.
Because the personality was totally different.
Yes.
And then I guess you can see, like, he explained Frank Castle going crazy in the whole story of him being the last person on Earth because Thanos thought he was worthless.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, you're the only human and you're the hardest fighter, but I'm not going to kill you
Yeah.
because you were never a threat.
Yeah.
And then to see Punisher build up and, you know, making the deal with Mephisto to get the Ghost Rider
Which was
powers.
very freaking cool. I'm a
That
huge
was
fan
awesome.
of Mephisto, man. I'm a huge fan of. They need to use
You're a
him
huge
more.
fan of everyone. That's all I hear is I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
That's all right though.
Just-
You be a
That's
huge
awesome thing
fan.
about comics. You can be a huge fan of someone.
Yeah.
Yes,
can.
I'm an Alpha Flight fan. Some people can say they're huge fans of Alpha Flight.
I
but
think
still
you're the
wear it
only
proudly.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too.
And the best part about it is there'll never be an Alpha Flight movie, and I can be proud of that for some
Yes.
reason.
Yes. Yes.
Because I know like that forever. I can go get Alpha Flight #1 for $10 or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and all of our friends up in the Great White North.
I wonder, do you know, like in Canada, is Alpha Flight #1 $100 book?
I doubt it.
Do you know?
yeah.
That's like here, like we love the Avengers #1. That's like, you know, $20,000 book in your mint condition. You go to Canada, Alpha Flight #1's still like $20.
And you know what, right? Like I think that Captain Canuck, right? Is the number one. That's the number one Canadian book, right?
Is that
It's
the
got to
Canadian
be.
book?
Yeah, it's got to be their holy grail.
Captain Canuck.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's
funny, I love
1,000 Canadian dollars.
Yes.
1,000 Canadian dollars.
Yes. Well, there's, this is crazy that we're talking about this. There are a couple issues of Captain Canuck that are CGC has graded 10.0.
Really?
Yes.
Are you serious? dude?
100% serious.
Wow, it's 10.0 from the one from the 1950s when we got the Canucks
No,
started?
the 80s, I want to say.
The 80s one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow, dude. Because
Yeah.
I know like they had like an older Captain Canuck book back from the Golden Age too, didn't they?
I don't know about that.
Okay, it might be like once again they probably wrote their stories
Yes.
as because it's sad. Like as much as I love Alpha Flight, I've never been drawn to Captain Canuck.
Yeah.
Which is strange because I
Yeah.
think Guardian to me was one of the coolest looking designs.
I agree there. Yeah.
From the 1980s, and like once again, like Batman had a cool outfit, but just saw off his ears and put like a Canadian flag wrapped around. Looks nothing
Yeah.
like a Canadian flag,
No.
but it just appeals.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, dude, this John Byrne guy, how does he know how to make anything cool?
John Byrne, man. That's another great. Jesus.
Dude,
He really killed it.
I think we grew up together.
I know we did. We did.
It's neighbors or something.
You know what's funny is that like most of these people that are sitting here right now, we probably at that time period were like, 5 people away. Like what do they call that? The Kevin Bacon. Seven degrees of separation. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool, man.
Well, just see, John Byrne is actually doing a convention this weekend.
I did see
It's
it.
actually today at the Dallas Comic Con. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's very rare to see him even do anything because he's such a old man.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying, dude. How do we get him out for fan fusion? I mean, so if he's doing cons again, that would be like #1 priority. Hey, you know, let's call John Byrne to get this guy out to Phoenix because
Yeah.
he's actually coming out of his cave
yes.
for the first time in decades to come do events again.
That would
That
be
must
very
be
interesting
happy
to
about
see
something.
why.
Yes.
Money.
And do you think it's just money on that?
I don't think so. I think he's getting residuals for. He created a lot of really big characters.
Like Neil Adams took about a 15-year hiatus from doing cons.
Yeah, he
And now
was
he's
just.
everywhere. So I'm hoping that's gonna be the John Byrne effect too, as well. It's like that once he gets that taste again, and see how much the fans still appreciate him.
Yes.
I think he thinks a lot of it since he left Marvel and DC that fan base is kind of weaned off. Like, have people say they have complete runs of X-Men. Dealing all that Star Trek visions.
Yeah.
All he's doing is writing that. But he's still a huge
Fantastic
fan
Four.
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think I bet you there's Lions Club. Like, I bet you
Oh,
there's
yeah, of
Lions
course.
right now.
That's our history. It's like as much as everybody loves Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, there's got to be people that love John Byrne and Arthur Adams and Mike Mignola and Mike Golden and all those people that were each generation's creators. Like right now, we're talking so much about Scott Snyder and Donny Cates. 20, 30 years from now, there's going to be the new Scott Snyder and Donny Cates.
Yeah.
And we got to keep that alive for the next generation about how important Scott Snyder and Donny Cates is in the modern time.
Yeah.
That's why we have free comic book days.
Thank you. Yes, dude. And it's kind of fun too. It's like free comic day. I know what you mean. It's like that. It used to be older classic books, and now there's more new storytelling type of opportunities. But excuse me if I reach here.
No, go for it,
I
man.
was so happy to see one of my favorites, Todd McFarlane, do a free comic day Spawn.
That's what we were talking
You're talking talk about that early on. Yeah.
And of course, he's promoting Spawn 300 on the back cover.
Beautiful Matina cover.
I can't wait. I love it.
You, in 2019, 27 years later, get the opportunity to look at Spawn again for the first time.
Yeah.
Because someone's picking that comic up for the first time. And
As a matter of
Tommy
fact, we had somebody come up.
We had a kid that came up and we had an exact conversation.
Really?
Yeah.
He was like, Spawn, and we were like, when we were kids.
This is what we were reading. Yeah.
Spawn that was the end all. It was awesome.
Yes,
And
that's
he's like, I can't wait to read this. It's great to be able to still have that impact. I think it's cool. And just, he re-released Spawn #1. And a whole another generation of kids are going to get to
experience.
Yeah.
The first time.
Yep.
It was like me, like the Black Suit Spider-Man. I know I'm going, once again, repeating the wheel. I apologize for you guys.
No.
You didn't cut me out for doing that. Like 1984, Spider-Man was 22 years old. And the only experience I had was watching Spider-Man's Amazing Friends.
Yeah.
They didn't do that symbiote change in Spider-Man. I may never even had free comic dates, man, because, cartoons were cool, the toys were cool. I read a couple G.I. Joe comics, but nothing got me into it the same way that symbiote Spider-Man.
It's funny. We were talking with Frank had stopped by just to BS with us, and he brought up how he got into comics was through the cartoons and stuff too, the Super Friends show.
Absolutely, I remember watching that too.
Yeah.
As a kid.
And
It's very interesting the different ways people find to this genre and group of people. Yeah.
for me, it was G.I. Joe,
Absolutely.
100%. G.I. Joe was my beginning of everything.
What issue was the first one remember?
So I probably read the silent issue first.
Dude, go ahead.
Yeah, because I'm a huge Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow fan, and I think that was the first issue I had ever remember, like have a reason. Yeah, have a reason to understand what's going on. I probably had a bunch off spinner racks that I don't remember reading, but I remember the silent issue 21.
Yes, no words.
No
The
words.
Silent Castle.
Yes. Larry Hama, one of the most underrated creators in the game.
Yes.
And, he created G.I. Joe, and what he did with G.I. Joe he based a lot of those characters on his Vietnam pals who were in Vietnam with him. And Snake Eyes was somebody he knew, and this and that. And
That is
so,
cool guy to talk to.
yes, very cool guy to talk to. So yeah, I mean, cartoons for us, that is kind of how we got into it.
those were our toy advertisements back in the 80s. Dude, like cartoons were better than seeing a commercial on TV.
Yeah.
They did have commercials. Don't get us wrong. Like those commercials were almost as cool as the cartoons in some way.
Yes.
I want to be like, oh, dude, he's got the hovercraft. He's got the
Yes.
red. Oh my gosh, dude, look at this copperhead.
Yes.
Inside of the water moccasin.
Yeah.
I remember getting G.I. Joe toys for Christmas. Was like my dad would spend all night putting it up. So
Yes.
walked out. I think he did sort of play with it.
Yes.
But to walk, there was nothing like walking out and having
That
this put
morning.
together G.I. Joe toy
Yeah.
next to the Christmas tree.
Could you imagine walking out to see the aircraft carrier all put together, the USS Flag? Neither did I. I had a friend who had one.
Yes, me too. It's like that Ronald Cobra Rattler. He had the Sky Striker,
Yeah.
the aircraft carrier. It's
Funny.
unbelievable.
It's funny you bring up the Sky Striker. I just picked up a freaking mint Sky Striker.
Oh, nice.
Perfect condition with the box and everything. I mean, it's been taken out of the box, but
It's still
one of my Ace is there, everything, man. They're all there. The parachute, everything, man.
Dude, I said too, I gotta become your next door neighbor, bro.
He's got cameras. No,
It's like, you might as well put some cameras in Skype. Do our own G.I. Joe adventures in Skype. It's Cobra Commander.
Yeah,
It'll be like that episode of Seinfeld where Jerry's dating the woman who's got all the toys.
Yes.
I think I have a new man crush, Brian.
Yeah.
Ken will befriend you just to come play with
we
your
all
toys.
man crush Brian.
Yes, dude.
Jesus, man,
It's
too
hard
many
not to.
toys.
Did you guys ever see that Community episode where he's having his midlife crisis? I don't watch Community's regulars like should be, but what's the main character's name in Community?
I
Joel
never-
McHale.
What's his name again?
Joel McHale.
Joel McHale, yeah. What's his character name? The TV show.
It's been a while since I watched
I
that.
can't
Well,
remember.
he was turning 40 in the episode, and he fainted and kind of went into a coma. And while he was in, he didn't wait until the end of the episode, but the episode starts off like a G.I. Joe episode.
Oh.
And then as it kind of goes through and he starts coming out of his coma, you start hopefully to see the advertisement inside of it until he finally comes out of his coma. They're going, oh my gosh, he goes,
He plays Jeff Winger.
Jeff
That's
Winger?
right,
Okay,
Jeff.
dude. And he realized, like, oh my gosh, dude, I just realized I'm my first midlife crisis. And he's remembering how cool G.I. Joe was too.
Yes.
The best episodes of any TV
Yes.
series I've ever seen.
I,
As a geek, pop culture.
to this day, man, if I'm walking like through a flea market or a garage sale and I see a 3 3/4 inch figure, I get giddy, man. I'm like, let's do it. You know, show them what else you got.
I said too, it's like that. I want to find like the diehard G.I. Joe seller in the community.
Yeah.
And there's not.
It's hard, man.
Are you secretly Batman? Because I think you got the Penguin standing behind you.
Just minutes.
Yeah.
What is up, sir? He doesn't know me. How you doing? What is going on, dude? How you been? We got the penguin. I think the penguin.
Hey, we're doing a live podcast while we're talking to us.
I've never seen the penguin for lots of words. How's it going, Sir Penguin?
Have you seen that fellow today? He's hiding from me.
Yes,
He's afraid of me.
I was told that Batman was undercover.
It's walking around as Bruce Lane.
Yes. So
Bruce Lane, huh?
Bruce Lane? What'd I say?
Bruce Lane, huh? Bruce Lane.
Nice. That's a penguin flamethrower. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure that you have a little orange tag on that, which you do, which is great. So I guess this is like the new convention thing. Anything that looks like a weapon's got to have an orange tag these days. I'm not sure how this world's come to be that way.
Yeah.
But thanks to the people that have to take more or less their cosplay too seriously. And
I think that's all because of the Green Power Ranger. Yeah, that's
Punisher.
I want to be the Punisher for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like that.
So what do
John
you
Barenthal do it? I think he does.
are you looking forward to meeting anybody at Fan Fusion?
Man, dude, there's some good ones. I heard that this week someone texted me and said that they're doing it officially, Denny O'Neil Day for Phoenix.
Yeah,
Did you
great.
see that? That's kind of awesome. So I told him to go say hi to Denny O'Neil and say,
Yeah.
dude, you know what? We made a day in Phoenix after you.
Yeah.
I hope that you know that, and that's how much this company.
Why are they? Is he from Phoenix?
I don't think so. That's what's
Yeah,
kinda
we need to
interesting. I
look
don't
in to see
know
why.
How that is, because I never heard Denny O'Neil being from Phoenix, but I thought he was in New York City, like all the other.
Well, I'm
creators back in the
I'm-
day.
Todd McFarlane's mad because he lives here. He doesn't get a day.
yeah.
Todd McFarlane's a month.
I'm very excited to see Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams. I got a ton of Green Lantern stuff to get signed, and very, very rare to have both those guys at the same place at the same time.
Absolutely. I mean, the whole, that's it too. You can see, didn't Denny O'Neil, if I remember correctly, wasn't he co-creator of Ra's al Ghul and Neil Adams?
Yes, and so Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams, another thing we talked about last night, are directly responsible for the way comics are now, especially Batman.
The drug issues of the
Yes.
Lantern. That
Yes.
was like, it's that too. Spider-Man and Stan Lee touched on it with Harry Osborn dealing with the pill popping issues, but then
Nothing like-
Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams took it to a whole new level.
Yeah.
I mean, Speedy, was actually using
Yeah.
almost his own speed.
Yeah.
I mean, a heroin type of addiction that is something like superheroes can have real life issues that need to be dealt with.
Well, that whole Green Lantern run was probably the first socially conscious comic that had ever been written. And then at the same time, Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams were writing that, and they were doing Batman. I want to say, I don't know if Denny O'Neil was doing Dead Man with Neil Adams, but Neil Adams was doing the Dead Man stuff.
Yes.
All three of those characters changed how comics were seen and written after that point. Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams is directly responsible for Frank Miller, Alan Moore. You know what I mean? All those guys, those socially conscious guys that are writing comics not for kids anymore. Chris Claremont, John Byrne.
When we passed in the 40s,
Yes.
Because most nights
they
it's
were all about social acceptance, and not just in America, worldwide.
Yes.
All those new X-Men were not from America; they were from all around the world. And
Yes.
it's like, hey, dude, you hate mutants already as Americans, but dude, this is a worldwide unification like that. This is not something that is to be not accepted by society.
Yes.
And I said too, it was like that pulling in Sunfire from Japan, and even like a
Wolverine
Banshee
from Canada.
Ireland. just to even have them disappear the next couple issues in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that is world social acceptance, not just like local, stateside social acceptance.
Well, and they did the same thing. I want to say that Claremont and Byrne got their start on some of the Captain Britain stuff, if I remember correctly.
I think, Marvel Team Up.
Yes, Marvel Team Up.
Yeah. Captain Britain's first Marvel appearance was, I think, Marvel Team Up 65.
65. That was his first American appearance, but they were doing the Captain America stuff, Captain Britain stuff in England. Oh yeah. The first Captain Britain was an oversized magazine. Yeah. Well, I think Alan Davis came later. I want to say that Herb Trimp did most of the covers for that run, but I know Claremont did a lot of writing, and John Byrne did a lot of stuff for it. Also, Alan Moore. There's a lot of cool stuff.
The Judge Dredd stuff.
Yes. Alan Grant.
Alan Grant.
Yeah.
Alan Grant.
So, but anyways, yeah. The End Fusion looks like a lot of fun, man. Is there anybody else there that you're looking forward to?
Oh man, let's see too, dude. It's hard because I don't get to spend as much time there as I used to. Because one of my our store manager, Jason Worthington, he's a comic creator himself, and so he takes care of us year round. And so that weekend, it's like, hey, he likes to set up the booth and promote himself. So yeah, we'll help come to the store.
That's awesome.
The whole weekend.
Yeah.
And then that way you get your message out about how awesome you are as a creator too. So I usually only go for like one day, and it's hard to plan what's most important for me on that day. Like that. Like that's why I enjoyed WonderCon. We went to WonderCon last month. Once again, I was there only for one day on that Sunday, and Saturday we did Frankenstein's. But on Sunday I just took Artist Alley. And it was so fun going and seeing creators you don't normally see. And then trying to discover, okay, we know everybody here, but who are some people that we'll be seeing in the future that aren't doing comics right now? How can we kind of get exposure to them? So I love going to take pictures of artists I've never seen.
Yes.
And say, hey, check this out. I got some watercolor pictures from someone that's not quite David Mack, obviously, but he was doing things that looked like a cross between David Mack and your favorite cartoon animation.
Yeah.
And I picked up a Voltron piece from him. And I'm going, I don't know who you are, but you need to keep this up. And I had to do well with me. He goes, yeah, pretty good. And you're hoping you're going to see those guys and gals doing the future comics 4 or 5 years from now. And you can say, oh yeah, dude, that's awesome. I remember when. Kind of like I'm a huge sports fan too. Like it's fun to see more or less. Like there's these kids like that are Centennial. He's going to Oklahoma next year. He was the Arizona State Player of the Year. He's playing quarterback at Oklahoma.
Oh wow!
And the way that Oklahoma's producing professional quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, Baker Mayfield.
This kid's going to be in the NFL.
Kyler Murray.
You take that kind of pride. Yeah. You got to witness these kids grow.
That's how I feel about Austin Matthews. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Talking about locals, there's an artist creator that I want to bring up that you are pretty close with. I hope you're still close with him. And he was out of the picture for a while, but now he's back, and that's Andy Carrion.
Oh my gosh, I love Andy Carrion.
For anybody out there who hasn't seen Andy Carrion's work, do yourself a favor, go look it up. Amazing artist. Some of my favorite sketch pieces that I've ever gotten, I got from Andy.
He's here today.
And I was going to ask you where he's at. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want, we can try to bring him on.
I would love that,
man.
Man.
See if he has some time and have him be on the podcast. I'm sure he would love that too.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. I haven't seen him since he's been back.
Yes, dude. I said he was in Dubai for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's the guy is one of the most wholesome, down-to-earth, humble people you'll meet in this community when it comes to his art and just as a person in general.
Yeah.
And that to me is like what's golden about this community is like that. The fact of like that when you find talent that's good and still remembers that the fact of like that, hey, I'm just a person like you guys.
Yes.
Those are people you just cannot not want to gravitate and see succeed.
Yeah.
And it's to me that's I take I don't know like I take a lot of.
You should take pride in that.
Yeah, pride and honor the fact of like that. Just the love for comics has allowed us to do what we're doing today.
Yes.
And I said too, it's like that. I know I feel like that. I don't like being on a pedestal type of attitude about anything, but
well, that's what we need, though.
You guys are what keep us here.
Yeah.
Anybody can sell comics. There's like 2,500 comic shops in this community. and they're all good in their own way. But to be able to do what you love,
That's very hard.
You never want to lose respect for that you have the opportunity to do something like that.
Well, one thing that I want to also bring up real quick is the fact that how big this event is in historic downtown Glendale.
It's to be as big as it's
Well, this is really turned into something more than just free comic book day at your local comic shop. This has turned into a community event in downtown here in downtown Glendale, historic downtown Glendale, right? So, for anybody out there that didn't get a chance, that's local to come this year, make sure you look and see events that are going to be happening in this area for next year's free comic book day. Do you do anything like this in any other time?
Halloween Comic Fest is in October. I love the Halloween Comic Fest concept because being from Arizona, we all know like this 100-degree weather when it hits around May. It's nice because we got the awesome spring, winter, and fall. But summer out here, it's kind of hard on doing events like this. Because
everybody's just hating life.
Yes, there's only so much brick and mortar room.
Yes,
you can do with stuff like this. Yeah. And we're lucky to be able to be teaming up with the library, which has offered us all this space too, which is great.
Well, I want to give a big shout out to this library. What is the name of this local branch?
This is the Glendale Velveteen branch. They're the original Glendale library.
So this Glendale branch has been amazing and nice enough to drop the AC in this room and make my life a lot easier. So I want to thank the Glendale Library.
Right before you showed up, I was sitting here and I was talking to the guy in the comic playground, and we were like, wow, it's starting to get hot in here. And we were like, oh no. Oh no!
Yeah, because I'll come in and that's one thing that it's hard to say this living in Arizona, but that's one thing I can't stand is the heat.
I totally understand. I'm an Arizona native, like second generation too, and you think that you get used to it,
never
do.
No.
Yeah, it's insane. My theory is you can always bundle up to stay warm, but once you're, you know what I mean, you can only take off so many pieces of clothing, and you're still freaking hot.
Yes.
And you're naked.
You know what I mean? Yes. You're naked. And you're getting arrested for doing things that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. Yes, but this has turned into a really cool event, and it's gotten really, really big. And I like what you guys have done, and you've had a big part in this. So
I really appreciate this too. Is that I never want to ever forget that we can't do this without the community of people that have the same passion and love for comics. That you know what I mean? That I've grown to over the years, and you guys. I love meeting people that even surpass the passion of love.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun. I love talking with you, Brian, because like that, I think I know a lot of stuff. But, dude, you pull stuff out of your knowledge banks that's, this guy, yes, dude, it's like the walking encyclopedia. People always try to compliment me on that. I go, we haven't met Brian.
Well, that's
like,
one thing.
I know some stuff, dude. Brian, Kyle, and Matt, these guys know their stuff, which is awesome.
I always say that I will never turn down a chance to sit and bullshit about comics with friends.
Oh, absolutely. That's what this maintains too, is like the fact that people remember this is something that you build friendships on.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's like that, yes, it's a very successful financial boom right now in comics, but at the same time, if that boom's not there, we still have our stories and friends and things that we have passion for sharing with each other that this medium brings.
Where do you see this medium going in the next 10 years?
I think it's that too. It's like the big fear that people were afraid of in the previous 10 years was that digital is going to take over and there are no more floppies.
Yes.
I think that we're safely past the fact that will not happen. I mean, unfortunately, it happened in newspapers and magazines, but that's all pure journalism.
Well, there's nothing like the feel of holding a comic book in your hand. Like, it doesn't beat it. Like,
You know, it's like this.
Yeah.
Like right here, it's like that. Hey, you know what? I'll share this with you. I'm not going to sit there here, dude. Have my phone look at my comics.
Yes.
That's just something like that. That's my.
And you don't really collect newspapers. You don't really collect. You don't collect news articles daily and monthly and as they come out. It's something you read, you absorb, you comment on, and then you disregard. Comics aren't like that. Comics is something that you buy, you hold, you read. There's like a lot of journalism. There's not a lot of follow-up.
Yes.
So once you read it, you never see what happens at the end. Or what came about of it, good, bad, or indifferent. Comic books, good, bad, or indifferent. Next month there's a continuation until it gets the axe and then they wrap up. But even with that, there's still a there's still a beginning, middle, and end to it.
Yes, and plus journalism is always time relevant.
Yes.
Comics and storytelling is timeless.
Yes.
And I think that's a huge benefit of this industry never going straight to digital. Is like it's great for exposure because that's the thing I become the like digital in some ways, because if you're in a small town in Nebraska and you don't get access to comics, you get access to comics.
Yes.
But then if you go to Lincoln, there's gonna be a comic shop. And what's the first thing you want to do if you've been reading these digitals? You want to go see what the world's really like.
Yes.
And you get so much new exposure and so much new. You get to talk with someone that even knows more than you do and is excited as you are, and they're going to share with you that knowledge. And it sends chills down my spine. I apologize for saying this, but it's something magical about creativity. Whether it's someone's DVD collection, whether it's someone's baseball card collection, whether it's someone's stamp collection. I mean, stamps. Yeah,
You put love in it. Yeah, you put love into it. Yeah.
It's something that's part of you. Like for instance, like I said too, is like once again, going back, like I love symbiote Spider-Man, but what do you love? Do you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, cool, dude, why do you love it?
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it's like, I'm gonna look at that more often.
Yes.
It's like that.
I think that one of the things that comic fans and retailers are starting to embrace is the fact that comics are that one of the tangible things about comics is holding a comic is the collectability and everything, right?
Yes.
And having a secondary value on it isn't the important thing. The important thing is the story, but that secondary value on it makes that a little bit more important.
Yeah,
Well, there's even a third value in them now. It's that these are art pieces now.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting
People,
at. Yeah.
people are putting these in frames and hanging them on their walls as art pieces, and all of
And
their
they should be.
houses. And
Yeah.
As they should be.
Yeah.
That's
A
what
lot
that's
of
taken.
mostly should be displayed.
Yes, that's what's taken way too long in the comic industry. Is for the industry to be appreciated as an art.
Yeah.
Because it's always been appreciated as like a storytelling medium, but now it's like being, I think, more appreciated as an art medium. Like if you go back 30 years, people weren't saying, "Oh, dude, I need to buy this Jack Kirby original art."
No,
If you
hell
were,
no.
There was a few people that were foresightful to say, like, "This is art."
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And these are the people that created these characters. Those are more or less the small fraction, not even 1%ers, like the
Yeah.
half percenters that had that vision.
Yeah.
And now, like everybody, like say for instance, gosh, I'm trying to think of the character that was just created within the past 6 months. Like that.
That
like,
Major X?
Neo.
Yeah, Major X. Dude, I bet you someone's already bought the original page of that first issue from Rob Liefeld.
Well,
Because-
yeah. You know,
what I mean?
it's funny you say that because that's how I got my favorite. One of my favorite pieces is I bought the original Sin #0 cover from Jim Chung.
Yes.
The book hadn't even come out yet. So when I contacted him, he said, "I'd love to sell it to you. It's still available, but you have to wait 6 months for the book to come out."
Nice.
And I went, "Perfect." And it was never like that before. I mean, a lot of these people.
Well, they threw the stuff away.
Yes,
back 30, 40
yes.
years ago. And I'm going, are you serious? It's
Yes.
like, we need to make space. Let's get rid of all this artwork at both DC and Marvel because we don't have storage area for it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even give it back
Well,
to the creators. Wasn't it like Steranko, Neil Adams? Some of the
Neil
people that
Adams.
started more fighting for the artists to get their
It
work
was
back?
100% Neil Adams was a big part of that. He did that for Siegel and Schuster. And another thing is that I forgot what I was just going to say. No, we were talking about art. We were
Yes.
talking about art. Oh, look at some of those artists now, and look at some of the prices of their original art, like Frazetta.
Oh my gosh.
If you've got an original for Frazetta, it could just be a little advertisement. Original Frazetta is unreal. You know what I mean? Like the price on an original Frazetta right now, even a little 8x10 sketch, or even smaller than that, it's through the roof.
Oh, and this too is like there's a whole new market of collectors that has boomed into the industry. I feel so for the movie star.
Yes.
And with all due respect to Hollywood, they are a major influence
Yes.
with what's gone on with the collector and investor. Plus, I think it even doubled when Disney bought Marvel.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
there's a whole audience of Disney collectors
Yeah.
that are Disney fanatics towards anything. Remember that heard about the Black Label VCR tapes?
Yes.
Where people would pay sometimes $1,000 for a VHS tape.
Yeah.
Where every other thing sitting in a Goodwill is 50 cents to $1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But they make everything about what they create
Yeah.
somewhat collectible, whether it's just a super rare cell from Bambi to a VCR tape that's been vaulted.
You know
So
what?
they've already built that audience that I think now is a comic book audience because Marvel characters are Disney.
People love to collect too.
Yes.
There are people out there that just will collect anything, and then there's, I think, a lot of the things that we truly love to collect are things that we enjoyed as in our childhood, because we can get those tangible items that remind us of being a kid when there was nothing you had to worry about in the world other than which cereal you were going to eat in the morning and watching your cartoons. You know what I mean? It takes you back to that amazing time where you had no cares in the world.
How is this Generation X audience that we are? How has that developed? Because it's weird too, because my parents never talked about anything they played with as kids. Isn't that strange? Do you ever think about that reflection? How many times do you say like that, oh yeah, son, I remember watching, you know what I mean, Howdy Doody, or you know, my mom a little bit, she tells me about how she's listened to The Shadow on the radio, and I think maybe aging myself a little bit too much.
No.
Mr. 44-year-old here.
No, we're right there with you, man. I think that is the important thing, is that we've had these new mediums. We talked about it earlier with the cartoons. These new mediums have made that collecting thing happen much more. You know what I mean? If you go back to the 80s, you look at the 80s and the cartoons we had Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man, Voltron, Thundercats. Every single one of those.
Jason the Wheeled Warriors.
Yes. Every single one of those had multiple things: toys, comics, cartoons, coloring books, everything. We can thank Jaws and George Lucas for that. But because you have so much available and it's all in your face, that has created us as collectors that have this love for those things in the 80s. Look at the 80s pop culture. I mean,
they truly honed in on advertising.
Yes.
When they really learned that, like, this is how we sell things. This is what we need to do. This is good. We need to expand on it. We need to hone in and grab them.
My favorite time as a kid, one of my favorite times as a kid that I can remember, is right before Christmas when the Sears magazine comes out.
Absolutely. I mean, I said too, the Sears catalog, the JCPenney catalogs, the LaBelle's catalogs.
Yes.
I mean, those things were, once again, they knew how to, in the 80s, hit you on every front of like that. Hey, we're going to reach you at the 7-Eleven on the cups. We're going to reach you in the Sears catalogs.
Yeah.
We're going to hit you on the TV shows. We're going to hit you during the advertising of those TV shows.
Is that what you were waiting for, Ralphie? To go down to the big store reveal of all the new Christmas toys?
You guys have, let me tell you.
You can go pick up the
waiting for your Red Ryder BB gun so you can shoot your eye out.
You ride your bike, you can order out the catalog on yourself as long as you have the money. Remember paper routes as a kid, which is something else I think is interesting too.
That's done.
There's
no more
paper
routes.
routes.
No, there isn't. No, there isn't.
So how do you raise money? Yeah, exactly, dude.
Well,
I remember YouTube stars.
Yeah, that's why you have kids making millions of dollars on YouTube.
Where you had to, because I used to do that with my buddy, with Chuck and his stepdad. That's what we did. Is we would meet at a place and wait for the paper, and then we would sit there, and we would the whole paper was already there except for the front page, and the whole part that came with the front page. So we would get there like at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. We would sit there and we would fold papers and wait.
Nice.
And then this diesel would come in back in, and there was these. It was the front page.
Oh, front page. Okay.
And the ads and everything else was done. The front page was you waited because it was always the most
quickest headline, the newest headline.
Oh, that's right. Had to be most relevant. Yes.
So we had to wait, and we would sit there and wait, and then we would fill up his car.
There used to be 2 papers released every day.
Waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning, going to meet the truck in the middle of like a Fry's parking lot, picking up the papers and having to put them together.
We do it by the hotel that's on I-17 in Dunlap. We would wait in that back of that hotel for the diesel to show up. And we'd fill up the back seat, and I'd be up to my neck in papers, and I couldn't even help deliver them until they could throw enough out the window that I could actually free myself. And everything had to be done by a certain time, so if like the news, if the front.
Well, there was 2 editions. I mean, think about that. There was 2 editions of papers. And now that is completely dead. I mean, think about the money that was made off of papers. That is completely gone. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I picked up my mom for my birthday last year
Yes.
gave me a J.C. Penney catalog from 1986.
I love this.
It blew, dude. It was one of the best gifts I've ever got.
Yes, because it's the wish books.
Yes.
They call them the wish books.
The wish books, yes.
It's just like you would go through and you'd circle all the stuff.
Yes.
You tear out the pages at times. You know, write down the list and staple it to the paper and say, "Here's what I want, parents." You know what I mean?
Man,
Your
it was
mom and
so
dad,
great.
You know, if you're lucky, you're happy to get one thing off there, but you just dream
Yes.
by looking at that. I said too, same thing too, like those G.I. Joe commercials of the kids playing.
Yes.
You would just
Outside.
look at those wish books and imagine yourself playing. They had the diorama looking like in a war action
Yes.
page. The Transformers, they do the same thing. You would have everything laid out. Like, oh man, there's Megatron. Oh man, there's Sandwich. You know who everything was.
Yes.
I remember not having a complete Voltron, and I was so bummed that I was missing the leg.
I was bummed out because I had the plastic one that you could put the figures in that was big, and then I saw my buddy came over with the metal ones, the
I had
smaller
the
metal
one. It
ones.
was like all the lines were like they were like probably like this big.
Yes.
The one
freaking heavy.
Yes.
As a kid, my parents couldn't afford it.
Yes.
I remember like one year remember the miniature ones that didn't come apart?
Yes.
I remember breaking off the green and red arms and pretending Voltron was at least somewhat disassembling.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that you could take apart. The rest was all metal joints.
Man, that's great.
And I'm going, okay, it's like we got three-fourths or 3/5 of Voltron flying on one side, then the green and red lion
Yeah.
on the other side. I'm going, but that's, you could do whatever you wanted with the toys when you were a kid because they were they helped you with your imagination too as well. Because they already gave you the story plots, and you knew who all the characters were, then you could act out all the adventures that you didn't see happen in the cartoon, but you felt would fit in. Almost like I think that's where most of our comic book storylines are coming from now, is they read all these comics growing up. And now, especially Donny Cates, is putting pieces of history in place that he would have liked to see told when he was a kid. Like, once again, we're talking about right now how, like, I imagine
that power.
Yes, and now it's like all the adults get to live out the stories and share them the same way that they were shared their stories of Spider-Man and X-Men when they were kids.
Donny Cates does something that I've never seen another creator do that has just been remarkable to me. He takes stories and old issues that were in the 80s or 90s and makes them relevant again. And it seems like that's one of his main purposes. And it's really fueled the speculator market. I understand that, and I'm all for that. But it's also it breathes life into those old issues that really didn't have much meaning up until that point. Because most of the stuff that he works with is like the Doctor Strange issue with the Sideric.
That's like the Juggernaut issue.
Yeah, the Juggernaut issue. I mean that book was it was in an Infinity War tie-in, but up until that point, it really wasn't that big of a deal until Donny Cates released a Twitter comment.
And Al Ewing's doing the same thing with Mortal Hulk.
Yes.
That's why Mortal Hulk's so popular.
Yes.
Al Ewing, all of a sudden, Mr. Fix-It was a $1 book.
Yes.
And Al said, oh, Mr. Fix-It's first appearance, Hulk 3, was it
377?
377? Well, that's Mr. Mind's fault.
That's the new one. Yeah, that's the one that's getting bigger. Mr. Fix-It, yeah, I think it was a McFarlane issue, right?
It was shortly after
Peter David and McFarlane?
Peter David was doing it.
Okay.
I think, Jeff, I hate the guy's last name, but Jeff Purves was like the artist working on the Hulk back then. I know it's not like the worst names.
Yeah,
One why he's not drawing comics anymore.
Never got tortured there.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
But yes, I can't remember the exact one, but he had two ladies on his side, and he was in the gray.
Yeah, the striped pinstripe suit, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's like the start of the Mr. Fix-It era. But that's being touched on.
It was a great storyline back then.
Yes.
Peter David is very underrated. Yeah, very
He's
underappreciated.
doing the symbiote Spider-Man series. Right
Really?
now. Yes, he's actually going back. He said the letters call me. Once again, if you guys ever need to cut me off, I apologize.
No,
You guys
keep
talk
going,
for
man.
hours.
Good.
But in the letters page, the first issue, like the letters page, he talked about how he had to read every single symbiote Spider-Man story from 1984 to make sure he didn't mess up the butterfly thing.
Oh yeah, the continuity, man.
Yes.
Continuity has become so important.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm watching the comic playground and I picked my name out of the drawing box. No, I'm just
Well, speaking of that, we are supposed to get that mega cast underway, so I think we're gonna.
So I'll zip it up.
No, that was a good. This was a good conversation.
Yeah, it definitely was very interesting. Like, yeah, so I wasn't saying much. I'm just listening to just all the knowledge go back and forth continue to. So this is a cool event. This is something that it's fun to bring up that type of talk.
This is something I've always said is, can you always, like, I was looking at the picture, like, since, Free Comic Book Days, it's within the same few days, every year, it's, the second, third, fourth, and fifth. So for like the last 6 or 7 years on my Facebook, every year I've come here, and so all these pictures are popping up, and I'm seeing, I used to bring my nephews, and they used to dress up, and I'm seeing these pictures of, of my kids when they were, God, Brian, we thought you were a professional, but just seeing it, and
at one point the professionalism stops, huh, Brian?
Doing it, there was one year where you actually got the city of Glendale to shut down a street so that you could set up, and you've always just, then another year the year that you incorporated all of downtown, Old Town Glendale, which they were really prepared for. A lot of the shops were not prepared for the onslaught of nerds running in looking for free comic books into their antique shops.
I wish I could keep on doing that, but it is everybody's got their own business that they need to operate on a regular
and I think
basis.
they did,
even though it is a special day, it was hard for a lot of businesses.
I think the concept was, we can draw in a lot of new people that normally wouldn't see it, but once they just realized that it was a bunch of nerds wanting comic books and they were running in and out, they were like, ooh. But the idea and the concept of it was so cool. And every year you've done something that's been like, wow.
Thank you. That means a lot. The thing that when I really start bringing it out of the community from outside the store into the community is, I was thinking to myself, it's like, okay, downtown Glendale's got a lot of transition that happens down here. Unfortunately, there's a lot of businesses that come and go. But what can we do to try to strengthen downtown Glendale, especially after Westgate opened? Mm-hmm. And something that luckily I've got background in going to school for broadcast business management and minor in small business. And I used to work in the media of trying to help other businesses grow. And so when I kind of said, what can I do now that the comic shop's starting to finally feel like it's got the foundation? How do I make sure it stays strong? The community, once again, I hate going back to community over and over again.
So important.
But it's so important. It's what's going to make or break is the community.
And the more we could get people checking out the other stores out here was my thought on it, the more people are going to come back and see us too as well.
Well, yeah, you guys do lots of stuff. Like you do your kid art classes, and you guys have all kinds of stuff going on that support the community that some of these other shops don't do. You don't get that. Yeah, they may run Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon tournaments, but you don't get the kid art classes. You don't get that kind of community
that has
stuff.
Always been the one cool thing. Another thing that I thought was always cool is a lot of comic shops, not to diss on comic shops, but a lot of them don't have that family-friendly appeal to
That's
it.
what I was going to say next. To me, it's more family than it is business. That sounds weird because I got to pay bills. And I'm not as competitive as some other comic shops, which to me used to frustrate me. Because remember, I've loved you guys for years. And there's times I used to be man, dude, it's like that. Why don't people take this as seriously as I do when it comes to building the community before building their pocketbooks?
Yeah.
And with all due respect, people that do build their pocketbooks, I understand more now because I can't worry about what's going on outside of my own four squares, my four walls.
Yeah.
But it was such a passionate thing to me. To this day, it still is. It used to bug me. And now I said, I got to let that go because all that's doing is bringing me down. I got to focus on what can we do to strengthen here.
Yes.
And even though I'm part of this comic book community, I started focusing on what's more important inside of my own community.
Well, this area, this downtown historic Old Town Glendale area, I think that if you're going to choose to have a building or have a storefront here, what comes with it is that community aspect.
Now you're seeing that too. There's going to be 4th new pop culture shop opening within the past 3 months within a mile of us now.
Well,
I don't know if you've seen that at all yet.
No.
There's a place that's called Geeks R Us that's opened up inside of Apple Tree Antiques. Triforce Collectibles, which are awesome. Danny, they used to be in Collectors Marketplace. Mm-hmm. And then Toy Box, which was up at 59th Avenue and Greenways. Now
I used to go there back in the day.
56th Avenue.
It was just hard to park.
Yeah.
It was the hardest part about that place.
And so now it's kind of becoming almost like a convention floor on a block.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's always, but the thing is like that, I think that some people are saying, aren't you bothered by that? I'm saying, well, no, because if I don't have something and there's somewhere else that's nearby But once again, it's that same effect. They're going to stay in this community, and everybody's going to get an opportunity to be exposed.
Pikachu
And if
just comes
that's
out of the
something
closet.
where we start off being the anchor for it, that's just the nature of the beast. And as the two, as long as we keep on doing what we're supposed to do and keep on taking care of everybody that walks in our doors, it will be okay.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then I need to rethink how I do business. And then what do I do? I need to expand into new areas and try to recreate this environment that we've created here in new areas where there is no comic shops.
Part of the vibe of
Then maybe
Hometown
that's where
Glendale.
we need to go. But I want to make sure this is always our foundation because that's where we started.
Yeah, it's a good foundation, good place to have a foundation.
Well, Old Town Glendale has this vibe to it.
It does.
And I think that has a lot to do with the attention and being able to do this stuff. Like most places, like
We're
they
still
can't
small town.
expand like
Yes.
this. It's still got that vibe, and I think as being a Glendale resident, I think that's actually kind of cool about.
I think
Glendale.
Old Town Glendale is the closest thing we have to like Midwest little towns.
It's still Americana.
Yeah,
That's
in
what
this
it feels
area.
like to me. It's
Yeah.
very Americana.
You can
It's
walk
like
to your
you've got
local
Mayberry
shop.
right here.
Yeah, exactly. The library being in the mid, like this little area around the park, and then you have all the stores around it. Everything's within walking distance. You can park at one end and check everything out within.
If this was in California, this would be a dream neighborhood.
Yes.
Because that's the one thing, like that's the only thing I would change about this neighborhood. If I could somehow have started this in
Get an
California,
ocean
the
here?
exact same, yes, dude.
Yeah.
Like Seal Beach. You ever been to Seal Beach?
Yes.
That's what this reminds me of. Downtown Glendale is Seal Beach without the beach.
Yeah.
You know, you can walk through. There's all these family-owned businesses.
Wish we had a
You know
beach.
what I mean? It's like that would just be the dream come true if I could ever do it over again. If I was
California
from
goes
California,
away.
that would be the only thing I would love to do over different. Is
Yeah.
because I love cooler air. Like we talked about being from Phoenix, it's like that.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I guess property in California is like, you know, it's $10,000 probably per month for the same space that I would have here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like it's just not realistic to do as a comic
Yeah.
shop.
Well, there's something that's happening in the area of Phoenix. You know, we say Phoenix, but we mean like the whole 5 little city area. You know, our little boroughs, Glendale, Peoria, whatever. So when I say Phoenix, I mean all that stuff. But something that's happening here within
Not
the last
crappy East Side.
the last 5 or 6 years especially is this growing of that culture. You look at downtown Phoenix and what's going on down there. You look at this area and what's going on here. There's this like community civic pride.
Yeah.
That's the best way to
And,
put it.
You know, being like a Arizona native, like I'm a Phoenician. I remember, and I've told these stories before on the podcast. Is it was small and it wasn't very built. There was no little suburbs. You've lived here almost your whole life. You know how to. You drove very far. There was nothing.
Everything on the
growing
grid.
up, you never really thought going to me.
Yeah. A lot of farmland.
That because it
Yeah.
was.
So far away.
It was still developing city.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Actually lost the point.
our generation is the generation that's putting a lot of extra love into it, and I hope it works out. Because I'm sure they've tried it before, but there's something that's happening with the internet, the way the internet works, and getting everybody together. And you would think that would take it away from it, but I think more people are getting together through the internet, but spending that time in these places.
And you guys want to come in and talk?
Yeah, it's like I feel like that we got to hand off and get everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I'm gonna go take a break, and I'll let somebody take my spot.
Yep. I'll get up right now. Well, I guess that's the end of this episode. We'll have a good night.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and end this here. I want to thank Ken for John Comments for joining us and
with some awesome
dropping
conversation.
some knowledge with podcast extraordinaire Brian over here.
Yeah.
Thanks
So,
you guys for having me on.
We're gonna go ahead and end this episode, and then we will get the MegaCast underway. I will post links for that. Make sure to check that out. We'll see you guys next time.